everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing a yay or nay video for the 1-2 Switch game that was recently announced for the Nintendo Switch. This is actually the first one in a series of videos I'm going to be doing for pretty much all the games that were recently announced that got a nice bit of focus during the Nintendo events on Friday and Saturday. So starting off with this one, I don't know if it's going to be a launch title or not. They haven't, even from the Tokyo event and the New York event combined, there's really been no news as to whether or not this game is going to be, shipped with the console like Wii Sports. That's the type of game I think of when I think of this game. It's clearly the bring everybody in casual game. That's what I'm expecting from it. It's the game that's probably going to last the longest. When you take, the console portable, it's going to last that 6.5 hours. This is the one that they want to be there, in your head, and it's probably going to be downloaded right onto the console, considering how things are now. That's probably how it's going to be. It won't even be, their cartridges, they aren't even discs anymore. So, who knows how exactly it's going to play out. But either way, looking at it outside of possibly shipping with the console, which personally, I think it should. I mean, this is the type of game that should cost it should cost like $10, but it would cost, like $20 to buy. If it's not with the console. But just to go through it, we got quite a few modes. A lot of them were shown off. I don't know if it was all of them or not, but quite a few were shown off during the New York event. And I'm just going to kind of go through them. It's the copy dance, which is basically one person makes a pose, the other person copies them. So you do 3 poses and then you switch, and the other person does 3 poses and you have to match them. And it actually charts your accuracy through the 3 poses. So that's kind of cool. It's, they're all simple little mini games just to play with people. And I thought that was cool. It's just another step in technology in general that it's like, oh, this, in this pose it was like you were 89% accurate, but this one, sadly, you're only like 52%, and that's, what made you lose or something like that. And in pose 3, it was like 37% or something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool when I actually saw them do that. Plus, the actual people make the poses, which was kind of funny watching the New York event because the girl was doing like yoga poses, and I was like, oh man, she instantly like outclassed the guy. I was like, oh, that sucks, because I definitely would have lost because of that too. But it's cool. You aren't copying the game and posing it. You have to pose off of each other. So I thought that was cool. Once again, all of these are simple, so I'm not looking at them like these are the best. But that was simple. The draw game, or the duel game, which is the one that they really showed off with like the intense Western commercial when the trailer first started up, and it was like, what is this new game? That one's pretty cool, very simple. That one, they actually show that it marks where the gun is when you pull the trigger. So if you push the button down too early, it won't even count that you shot, because there's a range, and if you pull it before it gets in range, you'll basically be shooting at the ground, and that's what it'll track. When you look at the screen, it'll be like, alright, this is where the gun was when you pull the trigger. It shows like all the minute movements and stuff and everything. So I was like, that's actually kind of cool. Just once again, technology wise, it's something. There are a couple of things that you can look at within the games, like, alright, it's tracking like these very tiny movements, and that's actually very cool. So that's just, draw. Like, that's literally all it is. So be faster than the other person. Oh man, milk. That, I'm pretty sure it was just called milk. It may have been called something else. That was funny. All that is you milk a cow. Like, the way they do it is you lift the controller up, and then you squeeze the buttons as you pull down, and you just do that over and over. And I was just like, I can't wait for the YouTube videos for that game, for that specific mode when it comes out. They have samurai training, which one person, it's basically the fake, this is fake, you can't do this in real life, but it's the samurai stuff you see in movies and stuff all the time, where people do like this and then someone catches the katana in their hand. You can't do that. And that's not just me, as I love katanas. That's like a science thing. That was even on Mythbusters. You can't do that. It'll slash right through your hand. But that's in there. Samurai training. They have table tennis, which was actually probably my favorite one to watch, just because the first one they did, they went up to like 25 volleys, and I was like, that's actually super intense for them. They were like 3 feet away, and it was this little thing, because you have to listen to, it has like 3 different serves. So there's whatever the serves are in tennis, I really don't know. It's like a lob, a slam, and then I guess the normal one. And they all have different sound effects, so you have to listen to the sound effect to know how fast you're supposed to react. And I thought that was actually kind of cool. And it does show on the screen the ball actually bouncing around if other people are looking at it. But it was actually kind of cool to actually watch that one because you just have to listen and know, all right, they did this. I have to counter this fast or that fast, and maybe I'll switch it up on them, and I'll do like a slower hit or something like that. So just for the mental mechanics, all these games have like certain aspects to it that I really enjoy. And then the last game that they at least showed off, it might not be the last one they have, but the last one that they showed was the eating contest. And this one actually utilizes the IR camera. And so basically, you hold the controller like this. It was supposed to be like 3 inches from the person's face and put the camera facing their mouth. And all they do is just go like, ma 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 ma. And it's like you're eating a sandwich really fast. So you have to do that as fast as you possibly can. So that I thought was funny. I'm sure people will have a million jokes about that on YouTube as well when that game comes out. But at this point, it's very simple. Like I said, it is the most casual of casual games so far on the Nintendo Switch. And I think it will be something that brings in a lot of, party time and stuff like that. It's like, all right, let's play this game or let's play that game. I don't think it'll be nearly as popular as Wii Sports. That has bowling on it. Bowling is freaking amazing, whether it's real or not. So it's kind of hard to beat that. But I think it's a good step back to, at least for them, as far as a business-wise thing. It's a good step back because they didn't really do that at all with the Wii U. That was strictly kind of like hardcore gaming, and even then, everyone talks about the Wii U. It didn't have too many like super phenomenal games. It definitely has like a solid handful, and those handful of games are great. But it's really a small handful. It's a small little pickings compared to Sony and Microsoft. But I think this is a good step back to the casual stuff for them. Personally speaking, unless this does come with the console, I'm not gonna buy it. Like I can tell you that right now. So it would be a nay as far as a purchase. I do like the game from what I've seen. If it comes with it, I'll definitely play it. I'll play it a ton on my own as well as with other people. So, well, some of them is just like, why would you play that by yourself? But like I said, I'm sure there are other modes on there because I believe I only rattled off like 5 or so. And so let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I only mentioned 6. I'm sure they'll have more than that, at least 10. That sort of thing. Because 6 is very small for that sort of game. They could easily double that. Admittedly, it could be up to 12 on there. But for what it is, I'd say nay as a purchase. But just to play it, I definitely do that. If someone else had it, I would be like, oh, that game sucks. I don't want to play it at all. I would love to play the game and experience it myself. I think that would be really fun. But I definitely would not buy it on its own. And unless it ships with the console, or they do a thing where it's like, oh, you can get, they used to do this. They did this with the Wii, but it was like, when they did the, what the heck was that thing? The Wii Motion Plus, when they did that, and it was like, you get the Wii Motion Plus controller with Wii Sports Resort. Unless they do it like that, where you get another Joy-Con, which I doubt they'll do that as like a launch thing, because this game basically seems done to me. Outside of that, I wouldn't buy the game, but admittedly, I'm pretty sure this is going to come with the console. I think it'll either be already downloaded on there, it's like, yeah, this is just already on here, just go ahead and play it, or, it'll actually ship with the game in the box and everything. So that's personally what I feel, considering the game. I haven't actually looked up the research for that. Like, I recently finished the New York Treehouse event, so I haven't really gone into like the extra research for that one, but considering how simple it is, I think that's what we should expect for it. But like I said, I would not buy the game by itself, but as far as just, it's that casual play, party game, I think it's a good game. From the variety that I've seen, maybe not the milk game, that just seemed weird to me, but like the silly stuff, even the eating contest, I thought was actually somewhat entertaining, and that was one person, he was doing it by himself. So even in that regard, I think it's fairly entertaining and just silly and stuff like that, and like the weirdest challenges that you could have for yourself. How many times can I open and close my mouth in like, I think it was like 5 seconds or something. It was like a really short span of time. So who knows? We'll just have to see exactly how it all plays out. But like I said, it's not something that I would buy on its own, but I would definitely play it for sure. I'd play the crap out of it if it does end up shipping with the console, which is admittedly my guess. But I would love to know what you guys thought about the game, so please comment below. Let me know what you thought about it as far as the content that has been shown. If you know any pricing or if it's going to ship with the console, please let me know about that in the comments below. And of course, I want to know if it's a yay or nay on this one. Like, you might get the game for free and still might not want this thing. So I would love to know where you guys lie. This isn't like my normal yay or nay videos, because most of those games is like, I know this isn't going to come with the console. I can almost guarantee 1-2 Switch is going to ship with the NS. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. So the yay or nay kind of most likely is irrelevant because it will ship with the console. But as far as the game by itself, definitely a nay. But it does seem like it would be something worth having for free, without a doubt. So, like I said, we'd love to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.